I want to talk about 4 AI tools that are immediately going to help you close more deals. These are tools I use, these are tools I've kind of like pretty much helped my sales team supercharge all of their efforts. Whether it's a custom presentation they want to show to their prospects, whether it's getting immediate feedback on the sales call that they just did, all of sorts, whether it's like looking through feedback or information, looking through kind of like specific examples that they want to showcase their clients. Every single thing is pretty much supercharging all of my salespeople's efforts. So the number one tool I want to start off with is pretty simple. It's Manus.im. It's by Meta. Now there are some alternative agentic tools like this, but Manus.im is my personal favorite because they just keep making it better and better. And honestly, the Manus 1.6 Max at the time of this video is kind of like all you need to make a lot of beautiful stuff. You can literally make like slide decks, custom slide decks. You can make amazing websites. Now, I want to make a disclaimer when it comes to using AI. You cannot be an idiot when it comes to using AI. And I say this not in an offensive way. I actually mean this in a very logical way. So for example, if you don't necessarily know how to use AI or how to do prompting, you need to watch some other videos before, kind of like learn those basics and then invest into these tools. Because the last thing I want you to do is just invest literally 5,000 a month or more onto these tools. Yes, it can get pretty expensive. Before you do that, I want to make sure that you actually learn how to do prompting, how to actually give AI the things you need that you have in your head, put it down in text, like give AI proper context so it can give you the output you want. Because if the input is not necessarily good, then the output is not going to be as good either. This is something, of course, I've taken a long time learning. I was an idiot once at first as well, where I couldn't necessarily figure out how to use it. But then as soon as prompting became more clear to me on like how to speak to AI and get the results I want, everything was becoming a lot more smoother. No matter which tool I use, whether it's Manus, whether it's Claude, every single thing is going to be pretty much clicking to you left, right, and center. Perfect. So the first tool is Manus. So Manus you can literally use to make some beautiful presentations. You can use this to make some very customized websites, and you can do a lot of websites from here. Like I have a separate website specifically only for my sales team where they can just log in and then literally show some beautifully made diagrams, some beautifully made presentations on how each step of the process works for us. We do done for you content. We also do some paid ads, Meta specifically, where we take care of the scripting, recording, editing, and publishing. So whenever our team is pitching our services to the prospect, we want to make sure that the prospect understands visually what we do best. Now, another thing that we're adding on top of this, and this is something we're all, of course, testing. This is not one of those things where I'm like, hey, I'll do exactly this. This is something we're testing still, but we're also now attempting to use AI to make custom presentations for the prospects who join the call with us. So kind of like with their logo, with kind of like all of their colors. So it just seems more personalized because we're all about customer service. We're all about making things more experience for our customers. So we want to use these tools in a very internalized, very customized manner for our prospects. And I recommend you do the same too. Because if you run a business and you actually care about your customers, you want to give them a more personalized experience in every step of the way. So tools like these actually allow you to do that without hiring 50 people. You only need one tool, 1 to 3 tools to actually do that for you in a very customized manner. So Manus for presentations, Manus for websites. You can also kind of like store and analyze data here. So let's say if you have like heaps and heaps of data, you have kind of like all of your calls that you've done in the past, you can literally upload all of that into Manus and just keep a log on like, hey, so which source of advertising is performing the best? Which closer is doing the best? Like, what is my closer? What is my percentage rate? Some of you guys watching this might not even know your data to the T. Like data is extremely important whenever building a sales team, of course, running some marketing numbers, because without that, you're basically blind. So you have to make sure that, you have a tool or you have some certain source that you can tap into and link these tools to that source that can actually, keep you updated on what's performing best pretty much on a week by week basis. Because if you don't necessarily have a source where you can just tap into data from, like if you don't have like, let's say a Google Sheets to be very basic or some sort of tool, like maybe ClickUp or something, I don't know, whatever you use, and you can't necessarily link into these tools to actually give you feedback, then that's somewhere you need to start as well. For that, you can use something like ClickUp to kind of like, just have your data stored. You can use kind of like just a traditional CRM. You can use like Close, you can use a GHL, whatever you want to use. Because the beauty of a tool like Manus is that you can actually like link both these tools and then literally ask it questions on how last week went on the sales when it comes to close, like how's the pipeline looking like. So you can also, one of the beautiful things I like about Manus is like you can integrate multiple tools. Like multiple tools can be integrated within one tool and you can literally have it talk to each other. So whether you use a note taker, whether you use a CRM, all of this could be linked to one tool and you can use one source to pretty much ask it questions. Like you have no idea if you link it this way. And it might sound confusing, but you have zero idea. If you link it this way, your entire workflow process becomes extremely fast. Like, you don't have to like go through all of these softwares, kind of like write down numbers yourself, kind of like analyze every single thing. You can just go to an AI stuff like Manus and just have it do it for you. Like, it's just that simple. Now, the next one I'll talk about is Fathom. Now, this is essentially a note taker that joins in pretty much every single one of your calls, and it makes sure that every single call is transcripted, and then of course has a summary, and pretty much like you can just log into Fathom and then see all of your call recordings in there. The way we use it is of course to log all of the call recordings, but more importantly to internalize AI tools with it as well. So when I said in the start of the video that our salespeople or our sales reps get immediate feedback on all of their calls, it's because of Fathom, and of course a mix of Claude Code as well. Now, what I highly suggest you do, and this is extremely recommended, is build a tool which allows your sales reps to get immediate feedback on all of the calls. So for example, how this process works is as soon as a call is completed, meaning call is completed, like Fathom, of course, transcribes everything. That's done. Now what happens is the Fathom recording goes over to, let's say, Claude Code. And Claude Code has all of the context. It has all context and data on how successful calls look like. So we've essentially trained a AI bot or LLM like Claude Code in this example on what a successful calls looks like and what to score our reps on. So for example, once you have this built, you can just pretty much link all of these tools, and then it just transcribes all of the recordings that come through Fathom. It gives a scoring, and then it sends it over to Slack pretty much automatically and immediately. Now, there's multiple ways you can do this. You can do this through Zapier. You can do this through any other AI kind of like tool you want, or like automation tool you want. But I just like using Claude Code. It just gives me more of a custom feel, and I don't necessarily want to pay like thousands for like different softwares. So Claude Code was easier for me because it's internalized, and it's just, I can just do whatever I want with it because I have more control over Claude Code. So this is kind of like another thing I highly recommend you do, because if your salespeople are not necessarily getting that immediate feedback, let's say they have 5 calls in one day, and they do one of the calls in the morning, they get immediate feedback, and they already are writing down notes on what they did wrong. Second call, they're immediately going to improve on the notes that they just got from the previous call. Instead of you waiting for a week to do a call review and them going through the previous 10 calls doing the same mistake over and over again, this tool allows them to get immediate feedback. Now, is it going to be better if you just did a one-on-one call review with them? Like, of course not. But it's at least going to give them the luxury to improve on a per call basis based on the feedback this AI bot is giving. And of course, this AI bot is going to be only as good as you train it to be. Because if you upload a lot of your calls, if you give it a lot of context, if you improve it over time as well, then it's going to be as good as you. Like, you're going to be like, yeah, this is exact feedback I would give this specific sales rep. And even the sales rep's going to be like, yeah, I mean, this makes complete sense. Like, yeah, no, this is 100% right. I have my own sales rep tell this to me all the time. Like, yeah, Reeb, the discovery process, the bot was correct. I should have done X, Y, Z. Because it's literally going to give you examples. Like ours, like the tool we have built, it literally gives you word for word examples on what you should have done and what you said instead. All of this type of things is pretty much live feedback given to them. So this would be 2 tools, of course. Like, one is Fathom, and then one of them is Claude. So now by this point, we're giving them immediate feedback on the calls they get. And then of course over here for Manus, they have of course a website that they can showcase our presentation to. They can make like custom slide decks if they wanted to for a specific client to improve their close rates. And of course, as we already talked about, Manus can also give you kind of like more details on the numbers as well if anybody wants to know the numbers, which is of course probably you as a sales manager. Now, of course, the last tool I highly recommend, which lives inside of Slack. If you do use Slack, if you don't, then this might not be as relevant, or maybe they added more integrations, I'm not sure. But it's going to be Victor. So Victor is essentially an AI agent that lives inside of Slack, and it has every single context. And just like Manus, you can connect it to all tools, like multiple tools. I've connected to my CRM, I've connected it to like multiple different things. So this is where, let's say, if I'm not available or if one of my team members is not available and the sales rep really needs a question answered, meaning if they want like a specific example, some references, Victor can help them because Victor has context on the entire Slack channel. And it also can pull data from my CRM. It can pull data from anything. So it's just kind of like talking to a person, but it's an AI who has every single source of like data you have inside of Slack. It can analyze messages. It can like recap all channels. It can like build apps. Victor can do a lot, and it's a tool I highly recommend. I'm not sponsored by any of these. These are just tools I genuinely use and like, and I'm just sharing it with you because I know for a fact it's going to make your life better, and it's going to make every single thing more streamlined for you. So, but Victor is a tool I'm pretty sure you are going to like, especially if you use AI. Now, all of these can add up to quite a bit. So, for example, Manus, you can start as low as, I believe, like 75 bucks a month. Victor, you can start as low as like 75 bucks a month, but they keep stacking as you grow. So that's just one thing I want to keep, I want to make sure that you keep in mind. But I also like to do a comparative analysis, because if you just hired multiple people to do this, or if you just use your own time to do all of this, it's just going to cost you more money. Like, and it's just going to cost you more time. So for example, if a sales rep needs immediate feedback and that immediate feedback helps them close more deals, you are by definition making more money as well. So things like these are super useful. And instead of just using AIs in a very offensive manner, meaning just having a cold call agent or like, just helping you get more leads, use AI in a way where you can improve your existing people's life, like existing teams, like whether it's like operationally, whether it's like sales teams, all of this stuff kind of usually helps you make more money, but people don't necessarily think about it this way. They just want more leads. They just want to do cold calling agent, a mini chat agent who can just talk to your prospects, which doesn't even work as well, unless you're like a very B2C, getting thousands of leads a day kind of business. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts about any of these specific AI tools and which ones do you use. I'll link to all of them. I'll have my affiliate link because I use all of these tools. It costs a lot, so I would appreciate if you just are interested. You could just use one of my links so I can get paid as well. But alternatively, if you are a service business who is looking to, of course, level up your social media, and of course, let's say your paid ads as well, there's a Calendly link in the description, and we offer a fully done for you model where we take care of the scripting, recording, editing, and publishing. Pretty much all done for you. Like I said, like there's no coaching or something involved in this. Like we literally have live directors who can help you record, fantastic script writers, editors, like the account managers who will post the content for you. And when it comes to the ads, that's where I get involved as well, just doing ads onboarding with you, making sure your funnel is set up, CRM. We have two different offers, but these offers are pretty much there to kind of like supercharge all of your efforts online. So if that's something you're interested in, there's a Calendly link in the description, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.